I definitely did not see this one coming, as Starbucks has actually decided to do something right for a change. I'm pretty sure by now that most of you guys have heard about Starbucks pulling down all the Pride stuff, which, by the way, is only mostly true, not fully true. I'll be answering that in this video here in a second, but a couple of days ago, this information actually came out yesterday. My bad. Sorry about that. I'm actually, for the first time, doing a video early in the morning for the first time in a while, so you guys got to kind of give me a second here. But this video right here will be the first of 3 videos coming out today. The one on the Trump indictment will be coming out at 6, and then the open marriages video and the cuckolding video, which, by the way, are together linked, of course, to the same topic. It's going to be coming out tonight at 7 p.m. So I decided to go ahead and bump it up tomorrow. We're just going to do one very, very long video on the whole AI deep fake stuff and what to expect in 2024, especially given the censorship that occurred of the Daily Wire, which, by the way, I'll be bringing up in this video right here too, because anybody who sits here and talks about Starbucks like they're this extremely evil place while at the same time drinking Starbucks coffee should probably not be one to talk at this moment in time. But don't worry, we'll get there here in a second, as well as this Target thing that's coming out, something that I called a couple of weeks ago. So make sure you guys stick around for the full video. So here's the deal. Starbucks, and I'm showing you guys some tweets. This right here was their union. They are upset right now because Starbucks chose to pull the vast majority of the Pride stuff down. Now, my personal opinion on Starbucks is this right here. I think of Starbucks coffee as it's mostly a delicacy. You go in there, you get a latte, this, that, and the other, but the coffee is very expensive. It's one of those things that's very, very few and far between. I typically try to stay away from that company during the summer months, especially with a hot, maybe on like a nice cold morning, a latte, if I've got like an additional $5 or something, is okay, but I don't really need it. So if you guys want to boycott it or whatever, that's up to you guys. Go right ahead and do so. But it looks like the boycotts on Bud Light, the boycotts on Anheuser-Busch, the boycotts on Target are having a bit of a ripple effect. I explained this in a video last week, and I talked about how it was that people were getting tired of the whole Pride thing, which, by the way, YouTube will find a way to make this video add suitability rather than give me full monetization, but that's okay. Here's the deal, and especially given and I'll explain more at the end of the video why it doesn't really matter, but still, at the same time, though, you got to ask yourself a question. Who's really and truly winning the culture war? Well, yesterday, the Biden administration did something that I thought was very shocking. So a bunch of trans influencers, got to say it that way because of the algorithm, showed up to the White House and did some extremely lewd stuff. I even did a video on this and posted it to my backup channel, Gear Issue 33, Short Timer Prepping, which I still have not changed the name yet. And I'll leave it in the description box, the comment section for you guys, so that way you guys can go subscribe over there too. Basically what they did was they defaced the American flag. They basically put the Pride flag up there at the very, very center of the White House, basically the most blasphemous crap you can think of. And they had this one trans influencer named Rose Montoya, who is, I'm pretty sure you guys know who this individual is, but we got to watch ourselves in this video, decided to strip on the White House lawn. The White House surprisingly banned this person going forward. I was actually shocked. Now, I wonder why Joe did that. I just wonder why he did it. I mean, given the fact that his approval rating is down and given the fact that Gallup released a poll 2 years ago that's probably increased since, and that poll right there, which, by the way, I'm showing you in the form of a PBS article, that 2/3 of the American people do not approve of what's going on with this whole Pride stuff. It's been going on for a while. As I've said before, this has actually been going on since 2021, and people have slowly but surely been getting more and more agitated by this, and now it is starting to show. Obviously, Starbucks looked at this situation and said, you know what, man, maybe it's a good idea that we pull this thing down. I mean, like I said, you're doing all this for only what is estimated to be between 3 to 5% of the population. And at the same time, of that population, we have no idea how many of these people are just taking advantage of a fad. How many of these people are just doing this for clicks and likes? I mean, if you go to TikTok, you see this crap all the time. People dressing up as the opposite sex, guys dressing up like women, women doing the same thing as dressing as men, then claiming to be trans, this type of thing here. And of course, we all know about how it's targeting our kids. Maybe it's possible that what Starbucks did was they saw the writing on the wall and they saw that, okay, 2/3 of the American people really and truly don't like what it is that's going on right now. They want it to stop. They want it to end. All that type of good stuff there. But then you look at it and you see that it's actually a Marist poll and you think to yourself 69%, and it's been 2 years since then, it may have actually increased, meaning it could be upwards to 78 or 80%, meaning that you're probably going to have a massive backlash. Well, let's go back in time. Bud Light, they decided to use Dylan Mulvaney for a March Madness ad. Got to be careful there too, because somehow or another your videos get removed from YouTube. I had 2 more removed this morning. You'll probably see it in the playlist, which I'll explain probably tomorrow in the very, very long video that I have on the censorship and the AI and the deep fakes and stuff and how we kind of got here. So here's the deal. They go through their mess. They get basically boycotted. They're looking at a $30 billion net loss. It looks like it's going to be actually a lot bigger. What I meant to say was actual loss. It looks like they're not going to net anything. If you go to a grocery store, you'll notice that Natural Light beer, for example, was like $12.99 per 18-pack rather than $14.99. They're lowering the price of all their beer, not named Bud Light, while increasing the price of that, thinking that they're going to get some revenue back. I have no idea what the hell they're thinking, because people already know what Anheuser-Busch owns. They know all the companies that it owns. Then you have Target, and now you've got this thing with Kohl's where they're actually doing the exact same thing, pushing the whole Pride thing. I saw it firsthand in the store that I live at here, because I went there to go see if I could find some stuff, and I didn't even know about Kohl's fully. I thought Kohl's had basically pulled back on that whole thing the exact same way Target did. I looked in there. I looked at the front. I didn't say anything. I walked around for a second. You know, just get the hell out of this place, and that's actually what I did. The thing is this right here. They pushed the Pride thing so daggone much to the point to where people have actually gotten completely sick of it. They're getting tired of politics being put in their face. They're getting tired of people throwing this crap in their face. There was a video that was released on Facebook where a guy in England was talking about how he went to Starbucks and how it was he has a rainbow color flagged, how do I say it? It was a rainbow color cup or something like that.
Laura Ingalls Wilder, author of the Little House on the Prairie books, whose name has been removed from a writing award because her books display stereotypical attitudes and contain racial language. Well, duh. Of course they do. Sorry. Okay, go again. Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful day, so we're up on the studio roof. Today we're going to be discussing Laura Ingalls Wilder, author of the Little House on the Prairie books, whose name has been removed from a writing award because her books display stereotypical attitudes and contain racial language. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'd be fucking amazed if they didn't, frankly. These books, they're based on the author's childhood between 1870 and 1894. That's like 5 years after slavery was abolished. The books were written during the Jim Crow laws. It's almost as if cultural norms aren't fixed and change with the passage of time. Who is this helping? No one. No one needs protecting from Little House on the fucking Prairie. Or, for that matter, the racially charged language of Huckleberry Finn, or To Kill a Mockingbird, or fucking... What does this achieve? Who does this help? Stop sanitising and denying the past to make yourself look good. I'm sick of it. It's utter bullshit. And it's fucking everywhere you look. We live in the most inclusive, progressive, diverse, prosperous society ever in human history, yet we behave as if we've never had it so fucking bad. We're told that there is prejudice wherever you look, because there aren't enough female biographies on Wikipedia or enough BAME cyclists on the road. Apparently, the biggest challenge to London cyclists is not safety, it's diversity. We used to react to prejudice. Now we actively seek it out, often where it doesn't fucking exist. Fucking Google has taken the egg out of its salad emoji to make it more inclusive for vegans. Is there a single vegan in the world that feels by a salad emoji with an egg in it? What does this achieve? Who does this help? My generation, right, we've never really had to fight for much. Gay rights certainly has come a long way in my lifetime, but, I mean, we never had to fight for the vote. We never had to fight in a fucking war. You know, my grandmother watched the Battle of Britain taking place above her house. Nazis in planes over her house attempting to invade our country. Actual Nazis. I'm not talking Trump voters, actual Nazis. Recently, you had Vogue magazine saying tackling women's issues today is harder than women's battle for the vote. You pampered privately the suffragettes went on fucking hunger strike. Emily Davidson sacrificed her life. Wearing a Louis Vuitton black dress on a red carpet is not the same as jumping in front of a fucking racehorse. Stop fucking demonstrating how fucking worthy you are. And it's fucking, look at this, it's fucking everything. It's everything, right? What's this? The Pride fucking sponsored Costa coffee. Who does this help? I'd like a skinny latte, please, with 1 pump of sugar-free hazelnut syrup. Would you like it in a cup that publicly displays that you're happy with the notion of same-sex couples having the right to... I just want a fucking coffee, mate. It's 6:30 a.m. and in 20 minutes I'm scheduled to interview Amber fucking Rudd. I just need the fucking caffeine. Give me my fucking skinny latte. We don't call it a skinny latte anymore, sir, because that phrase is considered fat shaming. So I would just fuck off then.
I figured that I would include the whole rant so that way maybe you guys would get the point. Is people for the most part just don't care. We live in the most inclusive environment ever, okay? Now really quick, something he said there, I gotta say this, okay? I don't want to do this. I don't want to pull this card. But, dude, there are a lot of people out here my age who actually enlisted, went to Iraq, went to Afghanistan, stuff like that there. I understand someone's going, you're pulling the veteran card. Yeah, because I went and did something that, quite frankly, was in service of you progressive loons. And there are many, many, many other men and women better than me, some of which have been turned out to be LGBTQ and have actually accepted the fact that we do live in the most inclusive environment in human history, whether you want to admit it or not. You wouldn't have had these rights. You wouldn't have had the ability to do the things that you were doing back in the 1960s or 70s or the 80s, when the left was actually the left. Nowadays, it's more authoritarian. I would even argue that, seeing how it is that a lot of these socialist influencers, like say Hassan, who's got like a $2.7 million mansion, you got all these people out here, these Twitch influencers that are socialist grifters who, by the way, have homes, use capitalism to get rich. The truth be told about these guys is that they're actually more fascist. But then again, at the same time, though, if you actually look into fascism, you will see that fascism and socialism are really just the same thing. It's just one is just a different version of the other. I mean, what is it that people say all the time? They keep claiming that Adolf Hitler or that Nazis were capitalists, when in reality they were actually National Socialists. Key word being socialist. Socialists oftentimes have a way of becoming super authoritarian, meaning that if you don't do what the hell it is that we want you to do, we will threaten your company. A lot like this case here.
Target store locations have been threatened with bombs. Now, none of these locations have found any bombs, but it seems like this false bomb threat targeting of Target is getting worse. We're now learning that several Kohl's locations have also been the subject of several bomb threats. Now, the reason for this is the person issuing the threat says that these stores have betrayed the LGBTQ plus community. I believe there is a potential it's a hoax intended to smear the left, but it is a bit of conspiratorial thinking. And I have to still lean on the overwhelming probability that this is the left's MO. This is what they do. They engage in violence, threats, and intimidation to get their way. When Target announced, or I should say when an internal memo circulated where they said, quickly remove the Pride merchandise from the front of the stores and bring it to the back, this probably shocked, offended, and terrified many on the left, because a massive multinational corporate, well, actually, I don't know if they're multinational, but a large corporation in the United States was bending the knee effectively to the political rivals of the left. And of course, this is how they engage. It's how they've always engaged. Now, it is true that Timcast did receive some kind of...
I'm just going to leave this video in the description box for you guys, but just say that I told you so. Yes, I called this in a previous video about the Target situation, that it was actually a transgender group, I have to say it that way because of the algorithm, that was actually threatening Target, not conservatives. The exact same way it's not conservatives threatening Starbucks. You see, most conservatives look at a cup of coffee and they think to themselves, you know what? This cup of coffee is like, I don't know, like I could probably get it for like $1.39 at a sheet somewhere. Just good old-fashioned black coffee. I put a little bit of cream in there, maybe a little bit of sugar or whatever, maybe some French vanilla or hazelnut or whatever the hell I may want. Me personally, I just drink mine without sugar. I just put a little bit of cream in there, which from what we understand is actually bad for you too. So I'm considering giving up coffee as a whole and just switching over to green tea. Except, of course, in the mornings when I really need coffee. I really need the caffeine. The thing is this right here. A lot of people, especially working class conservatives, they're not interested in paying $5 for a cup of coffee, especially if it's a cold cup of coffee, because coffee, in my opinion, should be drank warm. Many people just don't want to do that. They view Starbucks as an actual delicacy, but there's a lot of people out there who still buy Starbucks as an actual delicacy. It's those people that you're cutting off. It's that extra overflow of cash. Outside of that, the pool of those who buy Starbucks is really not that large. The same thing with Target. As I mentioned before, Target has always been seen as the alternative to Walmart. So if you don't want to go through the line at Walmart, you go to who? You go to Target. Speaking of Walmart, I got to say this really quick. A while back, Ben Shapiro put this tweet up about Target. Walmart is great. Ben, buddy, the minute that Target started getting heat, that's when Walmart started putting up their pride stuff. So do us all a favor and shut the hell up. You're not helping in this case. Just figure I'd throw that out there. Squeaky little voice. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to go too far on that right there, so I'll probably get in trouble. Say something that's going to get me banned off YouTube. Fact of the matter is that it's not conservatives causing this problem. It's the people that these people pander to are now upset. I called this a long time ago. You see, the Rainbow Coalition is basically each person, single group is who they're pandering to. Because if you take the L or if you take the G or you take the B or the T out of that actual community, next thing you know, that community is worthless. And guess what it ends up doing? It ends up warring amongst itself. But before it does it, it wars against the company that, quite frankly, decided to, let's say, not bring up their merchandise anymore. It's a very, very defeatist mindset, very, very defeatist group. It really and truly is. And you guys are obviously seeing this on full display. Now that woke corporations have said, "Look, we don't want to follow the example of Anheuser-Busch." Well, as you guys know, as you guys can see, obviously these companies are starting to wake up. However, you got to ask yourself a question: is there going to be a massive backlash from the other community, the community that was being pandered to, over the next few months? I'm pretty sure you're going to see it, and I'm pretty sure that you're already seeing it. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like this content, please hit the like button. If you think I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on this right in the comment section. Please leave it there. Hit the notifications bell so that way you guys are notified when the videos come out. And I'll see you guys later.